They're off. Ladbrokes World Hurdle Field leaves the starting position. Rev de Civila, readopting his front-running tactics this afternoon, is the one that leads early on. Celestial Halo settles in second place. Racing in third is Rule the World, just ahead of At Fisher's Cross, who's over the first safely. At this stage, Annie Power, quite keen Annie Power, back in the field, third or fourth last. Big Bucks has settled in fourth place early on. Medinas ahead of Salubrious, and held up towards the back of the field as they step over the second is Zarkanda. Also held up and also keen is More of That. So Rev de Civila setting a reasonable pace, a stretch 5 lengths away as they're quickly on towards the third. Steadies into it, sees a decent stride. The whole field are over well. So early on, Rev de Civila leads the World Hurdle Field by about 3 lengths. Celestial Halo, best placed of the Nichols Quartet at this stage, is in second place and just keeping the leader honest, closing to within 2 lengths. A gap of around about 5 lengths to Rule the World, with At Fisher's Cross on the outside of Big Bucks as they prepare to leave the ground for the 4th time. Medinas in midfield ahead of Annie Power and More of That. The unbeaten pair are side by side as the leaders take flight number 4. Zarkanda just stepped at it at the rear of the field, got to the other side safely, but early on with Salubrious is held up. So reaching the highest point of the course for the first time. Rev de Civila leading by just over a length from Celestial Halo. 3 to 4 lengths back in third place to Rule the World, with Big Bucks improving on that one's inside now to share that position. At Fisher's Cross, who's been fluent enough over the first 3 flights of hurdles, races in 5th place ahead of Medinas, who shows in 6th as they prepare to turn downhill. More of That then, Annie Power, Zarkanda, and Salubrious is held up at the rear of the field. So they're now very much on the descent and heading down towards the 5th. Rev de Civila leading from Celestial Halo. In third place is Rule the World. Big Bucks on the inside of At Fisher's Cross in 4th and 5th as they arrive at flight number 5. Over in midfield, Medinas just ahead of, behind these, More of That. Then towards the inside, Annie Power in the pink colours. A couple of lengths to Zarkanda, and Salubrious, who's keen at the rear of the field, is still anchored there by Nick Schofield. The pace has just been an even one. Rev de Civila a length clear from Celestial Halo as they make their way up the home straight towards flight number 6. Big Bucks in third place, disputing that position with Rule the World as the pace just steadies. At Fisher's Cross and Medinas as they begin to pack up. Annie Power now moves within a couple of lengths of Big Bucks into 7th place. Then behind these we have More of That, Zarkanda and Salubrious. Rev de Civila reaches flight number 6. Pops over in front, they're all over safely. So a circuit under their belts. Rev de Civila took up the mantle of leadership right from the word go. Celestial Halo has always been the closest pursuer in the green cap. Big Bucks in third place on the inside, disputing that position with Rule the World in the maroon and white. At Fisher's Cross, wider out hoops with the white cap, head of Medinas. Annie Power on the inside, matching strides at this stage with More of That. Then Zarkanda and Salubrious, but still all very much to play for as they've reached the halfway stage of the Ladbrokes World Hurdle. Rev de Civila with, for the first time, Celestial Halo moving into a more threatening position in second place, and that leads to an increase in the tempo as they stride over that. Once again, Rule the World and Big Bucks in third and fourth. At Fisher's Cross, who's jumped fluently so far. Medinas comes next. Annie Power still lobbing along in 7th place as they approach the middle one of this trio of flights. Rev de Civila bungled his way through it, but still has the lead, but is being pushed along for the first time. Celestial Halo now only a neck away. Rule the World in third, then Big Bucks on the inside of At Fisher's Cross as they step over the next flight. Annie Power still travelling very strongly. Medinas comes next. More of That also still on the bridle, as are the majority of the runners as they turn uphill and race towards the third last. Rev de Civila trying to shake off the attentions of Celestial Halo. These two a couple of lengths back to Rule the World. At Fisher's Cross, then Big Bucks. Behind these, Medinas, no move yet from Annie Power, still shares 7th place as they reach the next flight of hurdles. Still at the back, Zarkanda and Salubrious. So now they begin the climb. They turn left-handed, 7 furlongs to take, 2 flights of hurdles still in front of them. Rev de Civila, Celestial Halo in second place. Big Bucks in the inside of Rule the World. Then behind these, At Fisher's Cross, still Annie Power, patiently ridden, is behind Medinas and More of That as they turn downhill. Then behind these, still Zarkanda and Salubrious held up. Rev de Civila, it is who leads. From in second, Celestial Halo. Big Bucks, Sam Twiston Davis just pushing along slightly on the inside. Rule the World and at Fisher's Cross travel well. Annie Power quickly moves up the inside of Medinas and gets onto the tail of Big Bucks, who is being ridden along two from home. Rev de Civila with Rule the World and at Fisher's Cross. They're over. Big Bucks on the inside. Annie Power has now pulled off the rails to try and begin her challenge towards the centre. Rev de Civila, Rule the World at Fisher's Cross. Big Bucks up the inside. More of that and Annie Power. 6 of them is heading towards the last. At Fisher's Cross has moved through to lead. Rule the World in second. Annie Power and more of that. The unbeaten pair. Big Bucks labouring slightly on the inside. Annie Power pushes her way through to challenge at Fisher's Cross, and more of that at the last. More of that, and Annie Power a changing of the tide of the stayers, both with unbeaten records, come to the last together. More of that on the right. Annie Power on the left. The two set up the Cheltenham Hill. It's more of that. Barry Geraghty narrowly from Annie Power, who enters unknown territory, and it's more of that. Who's going to preserve the unbeaten record? More of that. 5 out of 5 wins the Ladbrokes World Hurdle for Barry Geraghty, and another winner in the week for John Joe O'Neill. Annie Power lost her unbeaten record fighting in second at Fisher's Cross Sarkanda. No final hurrah for Big Bucks.